Hey, you're listening to the Talk 20s podcast. If you want to join in on the community discussion, head over to our YouTube channel, just search Talk 20s. Or if you're driving or working and you just want to listen to the audio, you can still stay here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. For full transparency, we love bringing you guys loads of free weekly content. But in order to do this, we do work with brand partners who you'll hear from in this episode, including an advertisement from Zopa Bank. We hope you enjoy this week's episode, and over to future Gaby to intro today's guest. Welcome back to another episode of the Talk 20s podcast. It's just me, Gaby, and Georgia in the studio today. We are going to do some special episodes over the next couple of weeks, aren't we? Where we're going to be breaking down all the stats that we got from our latest 18 to 35 trend report. G, tell us what went into this report. Tell everyone how he did it.
Okay, so we promoted it not even for that long. We got over 1,000 people to do it. And basically it was getting your guys' lives basically in a nutshell. So like how much you're earning, what job you do, you know, how are you feeling in life, like what successes have you had, all of this stuff that basically makes us who we are, other than like what our actual personalities and values are. So like what it is living in this society basically as a Gen Z person in the UK specifically.
And we don't believe really anyone is doing kind of research like this. There's kind of pockets of different things that people are trying to study, but we really struggled ourselves to find something that properly defined what was going on with 20-somethings right now, because I think a lot of the time, and you'll see from all the stats that we end up going through today, a lot of the time you think from seeing everything on social media that everyone is buying a house, everyone is getting married or loved up, or everyone is going on 10,000 holidays a year.
Making millions.
And they're just not. And this is the research that basically helps to prove it.
Yeah, I think as well, because obviously Talk 20's media, like the media company that we are in general, is about helping 20-somethings and obviously other generations, but specifically 20-somethings or people that feel like a 20-something. And it's been hard like making content and trying to figure out what we can do to like actually educate people when there's no stats out there. So like basically this was to get real stats so then we could help you even better. We hope,
absolutely. So all of these stats that we read out, we're going to use them to kind of shape the future content, aren't we? We're going to get experts in to talk about all these different topics, and we're going to keep doing it year on year. We did it a couple of years ago, about 18 months ago, and then this is the second time we've done it. And yeah, you guys loved it. And do you know what's crazy as well is that we had over 1,000 people do it. We didn't give anyone any incentive to fill out this piece of research. It was literally it was quite a long piece of research as well. It was like
10 minutes,
15 minutes to fill it out. And we didn't bribe you guys with an Amazon voucher or anything like that. Like, you guys literally just told us how you were feeling. And a lot of people said they really actually enjoyed filling it in. And so these are the results. And we're going to also give a link in our show notes as well, so you can download the full report as well, so you can get more into the stats, because there's so much that we collected from this.
Yeah.
Before we dive in though, G, what did we do this weekend?
So I had a normal weekend, okay? I was chilling. I never rest, so we will go into like stress and burnout throughout this episode. And I feel like on a weekend I don't really switch off. I feel like I still need to be doing like normal life stuff.
Yeah.
So on my Saturday I was just chilling, you know. I stayed in bed till 2:00, which is so not like me. And then I get up, have a shower, and Gaby calls me, and Gaby's like, do you like Taylor Swift? Like, do you like really like her? And I was like, yeah, I like Taylor Swift. Like, I feel like even if you don't like Taylor Swift, I bet you any money you know most of her songs.
Yeah.
So then she's like, okay, do you want to go to Taylor Swift? I was like, dude, what are you on about? For reference, we're in Liverpool, obviously, if you're new to this show.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift was in Liverpool for 3 days, and it was the final night of her being in Liverpool, first time ever playing in Liverpool at Anfield. We're both massive LFC supporters.
Yeah.
And then do you want to explain actually
what
happened?
I'm getting married in 2 weeks' time, and guys, I've spent my wedding savings.
You'll be married when this episode's
I'll be married when this episode comes out. But guys, I spent my wedding savings on Taylor Swift tickets.
She spent her, and can we just appreciate that she spent her wedding savings helping me go to Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I really wanted to go that bad, like genuinely. So I was like doing wedding admin, like you. I think I do a lot of like life admin stuff on the weekend, and there's a lot of admin that comes involved with weddings. So I was like sorting all of that out, and the past 2 days, like obviously she'd been in Liverpool Thursday night, Friday night, and the videos of everyone was giving me major FOMO. I really wanted to get the tickets when they came out, didn't get them, and thought, oh, it's it's going to be really close to my wedding anyway. So I was like, oh, I think it'd be all right. I'll be okay. Yeah, whatever. And so me and Dan, like, he says he's not a Swiftie, but he's been fed so much Taylor Swift stuff on his algorithm that like if he's not a Taylor Swift fan, then there's something wrong with him. And he's like, we're watching like for the past couple of days just so many videos of her at Anfield. And he sat on the sofa and he goes, oh, my mate's got Taylor Swift tickets. And I was like, really? I was like, is that for real? Because there's so many tickets out there, isn't it? Someone who's trying to obviously like flog your tickets for like people are scamming people. And I was like, do you believe him? And he was like, yeah, well, he's selling it on behalf of a friend anyway. This guy ends up calling us and he goes, I've got these tickets, but they're really expensive. But my wife is really, really sick and she can't go. And at first I was like, I don't believe you. I feel like it could be a scam. But I grilled this guy. I was literally like, why have you got them? Why are you selling them? And and you could tell he was being genuine.
He must have terrified him.
I must have terrified him so much.
He's like, I'm just like a nice man trying to do a nice thing.
But no, it was genuine. And he was like, very obviously this was like 2:00 in the afternoon and Paramore came on at 6. The support act came on at 6.
I love Paramore as well,
4 hours to go. Anyway, so they were super expensive and I was like, oh, I just don't think any of my friends are going to want to pay that much money to go to it basically. So I rang around a few people. They're like, oh yeah, I kind of like her. And I was like, oh, you crazy, like she's amazing. I rang you and you were like, yeah, I'd love to go, but it was just like,
Gaby was literally like to me, what's your budget? And I was like, I can literally only afford this much. We're just nowhere near the ticket price. Can we just add? So then Gaby you called the man back, didn't you? And you're like, I can't go, like the tickets are too expensive, I'm so gutted.
Yeah.
And then little angel that he is,
so cute,
took the ticket prices down, so he's making a loss on these tickets now. And then Gaby very kindly, graciously, I know you won't even want me saying this because she hates when I like make her feel good, but she put more money towards my ticket, and then
I wanted us both to experience it. I know loads of people say go on your
own. Also,
I'm
sorry to any of Gaby's other friends that she didn't offer that for.
I did not offer that to anyone else because I knew you would love it. I knew we'd have the best time,
and we wore matching outfits on accident.
By accident, we wore matching outfits. I literally just came around, like picked you up because you actually don't live that far away from me.
No.
Picked you up and we drove there and we were just like, oh my god, this is the most exciting thing because it was so spontaneous.
Everything just went so smoothly as well. Like obviously we were driving there, we were like, I don't think either of us said it, but I can vouch for me, like I was on the way there thinking, okay, are these tickets legit? Are we just going to get there and then we're not going to get let in?
But they were good. They were great seats.
Yeah, we got in.
They were technically VIP tickets, although I don't know. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, I have seen a few people complaining on TikTok being like, I'm in VIP and I've got this in front of me. Anyway, but we were happy. They were really, really good tickets. Yeah. And we literally just like, honestly, there's a video of us like halfway through, which actually makes me howl when I watch it back because we are still screaming the lyrics at the top of our lungs. And it's like a video of us and we're like dancing away and everyone else behind us just looks knackered because she's obviously been on stage at this point for 2 hours at this point, and she's got so many different songs. Everyone behind us is like, oh my god, another one. And it did kind of feel like that because she's got so many good songs. Yeah.
But we literally just sang the hearts out until she went off stage.
Yeah, I've spent my nights, it's only Tuesday, so 2 nights later, just watching her music videos. I know. Because I'm like, she's a genius. She actually is. She is a director, a writer, an artist, a singer.
Absolutely. Well, if you've made it past this point, guys, we will actually give you the stats now, but we thought we'd have to.
Yeah,
we had to give like 5 minutes.
There will be timestamps, like chapters below as well. So
just the producer in G, eh?
Producer in G. You just skip to the bits that you want. We'd prefer you watch it all the way through. But yeah.
I'm super proud that this podcast is brought to you in partnership with our headline sponsors, Zopa Bank, who are one of the UK's leading digital banks. Talk 20s would not be where we are today at all without their support. So a big thank you to them. But if you've not heard about Zopa before, you should definitely check them out. They're all about fair, simple and easy to use financial products. My personal favourite is their Zopa Smart Saver, where you can create personalised pots for your different savings goals. To check them out for yourself, head to the App Store and search Zopa, that's ZOPA, and start saving from £1. The interest is payable monthly and is subject to variation. Back to the show. This episode, we're going to break this down into two parts. The first part is going to be about career and money. And the second part is going to be about relationships and our like life situations and health and all of that kind of stuff. So this first episode is all about career and money. So take it away, G.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if I look rude if you are watching it on the video and if I'm looking down, but we don't want to give you the wrong stats after doing all of this work to get the stats. Yeah. So how we done it is we looked at career successes in the past year, and 40% of the people got a new job in the past year. So congratulations to you guys for getting a new job. We don't know, that could be a job promotion or kind of in the same field.
Yeah, 40% out of 1,000 people. So a lot of people
that's
moving
a new
jobs.
Job, yeah. Like, congratulations to you all. These are just some really good ones to start us off before we go into, you know, the more sad nitty gritty bits. And then 6.2% of people secured their dream job.
That's really cool. Yeah,
I know that's a low number, but I think securing your dream job, like, it's a big thing, isn't it? Like, and we need to remember this is 18 to 35-year-olds. Like,
so if you've done it in that time frame as well, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really iconic of you all. And then 35.1% of people have had a good sense of direction / like progression. So they kind of feeling like they know where they're going in the career, they're progressing to that dream job status, which is also such a massive thing, because I feel like you get fed so much on like TikTok and like in the news and stuff that like Gen Z don't know what they're doing, like they jump jobs and they do this, and it's like, no, actually they know what they're doing, they're progressing, leave them alone.
Absolutely,
leave us alone.
On the other hand though, we've got some career struggles, and there were a lot actually, to be fair, that people picked out. Number one at the top, which was the most popular, was 50% of people struggle with balancing life. Yeah, I feel you. Like, there is
literally what we were just saying.
There's just too much to do. Like, there is, you know, especially when it comes, like we were saying, like weekends and stuff like that. Just there's so many different things that you have to kind of be aware of. Like, I'm not gonna lie, but like being a general adult
is hard.
I mean, everyone will say that, but like the washing, the cleaning, the sorting out your clothes for the next week, the emails, the, you know,
keeping up with friends.
There's too many things.
There is. And then on that is 50% not enjoying the job or studies, which is obviously a massive one compared to the fact that only 6.2% of people secured the dream job.
I think that's kind of important to put out there, though. If 50% of people are not enjoying their job or studies, most of the time what we're seeing on social media is people having the best time. But that's a stat here that honestly half of these people have said that they don't enjoy their job. So like, don't be thinking that if you're sat on a job that you don't love right now, that you are the only one, because half of people said they weren't enjoying their job. And then second after that, this is huge, and I don't think this is being picked up in the press at all.
No, it's not.
But 59.8% of 18 to 35-year-olds have experienced burnout in the last year.
That's crazy.
That's mental.
That is like crazy.
Yeah.
And we done a little bit of research on this. So if you are wondering if you have burnout, so burnout is actually defined as a syndrome basically resulting from chronic workplace stress. So it's that feeling of being energy depletion, exhaustion. Maybe you're feeling like you want to distance yourself from your job, or you're just feeling really negative all of the time, or cynicism. That's actually part of burnout, which I didn't realise. So it's, you know, if you're in that workplace and you're feeling like you're not doing really well, but your manager's maybe saying like, you're doing amazing, and you're cynical towards them, that's actually like a part of burnout.
It's basically all about how you manage it, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you ever felt
100%. I think I felt it earlier this year, if I'm being totally honest, because obviously 20s Fest was so like difficult and stressful to manage. And I think it took me like, I think I had burnout like for like a good couple of months properly like afterwards, and it wasn't until I went, okay, that was a lot.
And did you feel all of those things, like, you know, like really energy actually depleted, exhaustion?
All of those things I was feeling.
I looked into this a little bit more and like how we can fix burnout, and what I was finding online was, like you were saying before, it's a lot of people who are in very corporate jobs making these YouTube videos about why you feel burnout, and it's only ever related to being in this really serious corporate job. I have not really found anything online about people having burnout that are just maybe in uni, maybe that they are just in a job that they don't really like, but that doesn't mean that they can't have burnout. So I want you all to just kind of like self-evaluate in this moment and just really think, like, do I feel exhausted? Am I putting too much of my identity in work? That was a massive thing, because apparently if your identity is too much in your work, then when you're going into like your normal life, you've not got any identity of yourself. Like, it'll literally cause you to have an identity crisis, because if something goes wrong in work, it's like, well, I'm worth nothing. And that will lead to exhaustion. Do you have any advice for how someone can find?
I don't. I think ultimately we, like, a lot of people are putting a lot of pressure on themselves.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing.
And I think hopefully this episode, what we always want this podcast to be, is like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, I'm not on my own. I don't have to have everything figured out. I don't have to be comparing myself to everyone else. Like, when I actually get the stats on what everyone else is feeling, I am, I'm perfectly normal, is what we want you to feel. If you're watching the Talk 20s podcast on YouTube, you'll always see that we have these drinks out on the table. They're Riviera Iced Tea. And I was honestly so excited when they reached out to sponsor the podcast, because I am obsessed, like seriously obsessed with iced tea. If I'm getting a meal deal, I'm getting an iced tea. If I'm on holiday and I don't fancy something alcoholic, I'm ordering an iced tea. And now here in the studio, we have iced tea on tap always, and our guests love it. Riviera Iced Tea is also low calorie, natural, vegan, and gluten-free. What a bonus. And the peach iced tea from them is genuinely the best I've ever tasted. You can only get these drinks online right now, so run, don't walk, over to rivieraicedtea.com and fill your fridge with something super refreshing this summer. In the past year, 13.5% have had some element of unemployment, which is obviously quite high. That might not have been for the whole time, but at some stage. So if you've been out of work this year for whatever reason, you're not alone. 39.8% feel unfulfilled. Another huge one as well. I think this is all comes into people not necessarily enjoying their job as well. So don't feel alone if that's for you as well. 43.6% have had a loss of direction as well, so they don't really know where they're going, and 46.8% have a lack of motivation.
It's crazy, isn't it, how all of these things interlap? Like they all exchange with each other. Like, you're feeling burnout, but 50% of people are struggling with balance in their life, so surely that will lead into burnout, and then people aren't enjoying. Everything's connected.
The money side of things, we've had some successes. We've got to talk about the successes first. So 51.9% have saved money in the past year, which is difficult to do in this current cost of living crisis. Hats off to the 51.9% of you who have managed to save some money.
That's huge.
So it can be really difficult. 43.2% of people have got a pay rise in the last year.
Congratulations.
So I know a lot of people have, sometimes we get messages, people saying, I really feel like I would like a pay rise, or, how do I go about it? And we've got some episodes back on the podcast as well where we've talked about how to ask for a pay rise. One that stands, Buki,
I was literally just going to say, Kenny has a really good one where she speaks all about like how to negotiate a higher salary for yourself.
But hopefully, because of the cost of living, potentially your employer has put your wage up, because everything has got more expensive. I know some people are entitled to like a natural 3% increase and stuff like that. It's not the same for every single job though, so it is worth trying to bring up those conversations if you feel like you're in a position to be able to do that. And then 9.9% have bought a flat or a house in the past year. Well done to all of you guys.
Buying a property,
it's a big one,
is crazy. Like, congratulations. Like, obviously saving money, like maybe you guys are saving money to buy a house, or maybe it's just traveling, or maybe it's just a rainy day, but buying a house is crazy, so congratulations.
Absolutely. We also got some stats on what you guys spend on your holidays. And a lot of you like to keep it super cheap. We've got 20.7% spend less than £500 on a holiday.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, there are so many hacks that you can use to try and get the cheapest holiday. Like, because you always look, you don't really mind where you go. You kind of look at like the cheapest option and stuff like that.
I'm so weird when it comes to holiday. Gaby knows this because I'm going through this right now, guys. So it's my birthday in August 7th, if you all want to send me a present. And it's also my boyfriend's birthday on August 7th. So we have the exact same birthday, which is very annoying because I enjoy my birthday. Yeah, I don't like spending a lot of money on holidays. I didn't spend much on holidays growing up. So I feel like I'm not used to spending, like £2,000 or like £1,500 on a holiday. So I will literally sit there on Love Holidays, on Travel Finder. What was the app that you told me about? Lucky Trip.
Yeah.
If you've not heard of this, you can put your budget in, you can put where you want to go, and then it literally shows you all of the like places that you can go. It creates you a whole holiday. But I will say as well, Kia Commodore, her episode, she done a travel hack where she told us all to go on a private browser, go on your Safari, and then go on Skyscanner, look for the flights there, and then go on the actual website of the flights, not on Skyscanner. And I looked the other day and I saved like £100 on a flight.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, this works.
It works.
Kia's not lying. These are like struggles and focuses that people want to put on like their finances in their 20s or 18 to 35.
Yeah, absolutely. So 58.2% of people want to learn more about investing. We have done a couple of episodes on investing, but I feel like we could do another.
I feel like we could go deeper on investing. Because I will say I learn a lot from the episodes, like editing them and stuff. I've learned so much about budgeting and money mindset and stuff like that, but I feel like I could learn more about investing.
Right, well, we'll do it, guys.
Okay.
We'll absolutely get another person on about investing. 23.3% have struggled to make rent. That's a sad one for me.
Yeah, it makes me want to cry. Literally makes me want to cry. I have been in that position, and I will say it's hard when you're coming out of uni, or it's hard when you're in uni and you're trying to pay for rent, or you go from being in uni and having a student loan that pays for your rent to then having to have a job to pay for rent. And a piece of advice that I would give is tell your renters that, like, just tell them if you can't afford it, because I think people don't realise how flexible like landlords and stuff can be. Like, you can actually just say to them, hi, I'm such a good renter, like I don't do anything wrong, like I just need to give you like a month notice or like a week's notice that like I think I'm going to be a bit short on my rent, or like I don't get paid until a week later, like because I couldn't do these shifts or something. Like, just tell them, because if you don't tell them, your credit score will get messed up, and also you might get kicked out of your flat, and that is a bad situation. Because then you've got to get a deposit all over again.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah,
it's communication.
Crazy. Deposits are hard.
And the same with that is that 24.9% have also struggled with debt, which is a tricky one, because I think we are just fed options for taking on more debt when we're younger. Like, take out this credit card, or put this on Klarna, or this and this and this. And like, I don't think we actually learn what that actually means. So yeah, we did a really great episode. This is us going back through all of our past guests, but Bridget Jones's diary did a brilliant one on debt. Her episode was amazing. Oh my god, Bridget Jones, Budget Jones, Budget Jones's diary. It's a great name, so great that I completely forgot it. But her episode was amazing, talking all about debt. So so yeah, and then this is kind of like a lot of what we do Talk 20 is about. 29.1% of you feel like you lack financial knowledge, and although we don't just talk about financial knowledge, the whole reason that we put this stuff out is because no one teaches us any of this stuff, and that's literally why we have this podcast. This is the stuff that you might feel silly for asking, or you might not feel like you know the answers to, but want to know the answers to. So this is why we do it. That's why we do it.
So we did also get some juicy answers for you guys, but we thought
juicy answers. Yeah,
we thought we can't necessarily go through them all because they're really specific numbers. So if you do want to see exactly the percentages of people that what they're earning, how much disposable income they have, we have a full breakdown on the report. You can download it for free. We'll link it in the show notes. But just to share some of them with you. Where's it just gone? 14.7% of 18 to 35-year-olds earn between 30 to 34k. That actually really shocked me.
That was the highest one, wasn't it?
That
in terms
was
of the highest percentage.
That was the highest one.
The biggest chunk of people.
Yeah, the biggest chunk of people.
We're going to do it in a nice little graph for you.
Should we do it?
Coming right up. Yeah. Download it in the report and then you'll be able to see it all.
But yeah, that shocked me. So I think obviously it depends where you live in the UK and what job you do and stuff like that. But don't be scared to ask for pay rises and stuff like that. It all goes into everything we just spoke about.
We did have obviously I think the biggest chunk was from London as well.
Yeah.
So that's something to obviously factor in, is that obviously you've got London weightings when it comes to salaries and things as well.
Yeah, more money and more opportunities definitely needs to come to the north. And then on the lower end of that, 5.8% of 18 to 35-year-olds earn 20 to 22.9k, which I thought would be the highest
pretty much
one.
Minimum wage.
Yeah, that is like pretty much minimum.
Or less than minimum wage.
Is it less? I think about, isn't it like 20?
I don't know if potentially these might be. Wow, I hope these aren't full-time jobs, because
I think some of them are. Yeah, some of them are. Because you've got to factor in, like, people will be going into like graduate jobs, and I know a lot of the graduate jobs will start out at about 22k. Just for reference for people, like, if you're looking for a graduate job. But then
outside of London, though.
Outside of London.
In London it's like 30k.
In London there's some that are like 25.
They can't be.
25k. I remember, like,
can't live off that.
I know one of my friends literally graduated, then she was looking to move to London. 25k one of the jobs
and
was.
You only graduated like 18
I graduated
18 months ago,
like 2 years ago, and I think I remember, like, starting salary was about 22k. The highest one I seen was 28, and that was in London, and it was for like a really specific niche job.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is my favorite question to ask people, actually. I love this question so much. If people, we asked people if they were given £1,000 with no strings attached, what would you be most likely to spend it on? Now, last year we left this as open-ended, and we basically got the same answers from everyone. So we decided to make it easier to kind of calculate this time. And you are a sensible bunch, because 22.3% said that you would save it. I don't know what you're going to save it for, but 22.3% said you would save it. 13.2% said you would pay off debt. Fair. Also very sensible. Very sensible. I think I said, I want to know, can you open the stats, because I want to know about the travel one, because I put travel and I want to see how many people put travel. But 5.8% said they would treat themselves. Only 5.8%. And 1.8% said they would treat someone that they love, which is really nice. So look at the 1.8%. You're so cute. I said travel.
Be a 1%er.
Be a 1%er.
In a world of 22.3%ers.
Yeah.
The travel one, 17.2% of people would put £1,000 to travel funds.
Yeah, that was my choice.
And then only 1.8 would treat
someone they love.
I think my choice was pay off debt, because I'm in that debt category of, coming out of uni, had a student overdraft, made a whole new bank account, so I didn't have to look at my student overdraft.
Should we ask Sam what Sam would do with this?
What would you do? This
Sam?
Is our producer in the background.
If you were given £1,000, no strings attached.
He's really thinking here.
Some kind of blowout.
You would?
You'd go on a blowout. Like Vegas.
Well, I don't think a grand would get you to Vegas, but you'd literally just go and spend it all and just be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. You're complete opposite to every single one of what everyone
And this is like 20-somethings we're talking about. Like, would you have thought that most people would have said they'd go and spend it on partying, or would you have thought they'd save it?
I would have thought partying.
Yeah.
I thought it would be.
It's not.
See, we're going against these stereotypes.
I know, these stereotypes of young people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think the last thing that we want to end with you guys on, because I think a lot of us talk a lot about our career, and that being like, we spoke about it earlier about our identity, and like we really cannot kind of keep linking our careers to our identity. No. We are so much more than our careers.
It's very toxic.
But I think that these stats are mad about people's attitudes towards their jobs, and hopefully this gives you guys some reassurance. So we've already said about 8.1% of people would consider themselves to be in their dream job. These are 18 to 35-year-olds. So 47.8% of people said that it's part of their career path, but it's not necessarily their dream job. And 26.8% says it pays the bills, but it's not what they want to do. And then what's the last one?
11.5% said it's a means to an end, but they do it for a specific reason. I wonder what the reasoning is.
It probably could just be like, they need to make money. Like, everyone needs to make money.
Yeah.
And I do it to make money, and then I go off and do whatever else I want to do the rest of my
Or
life.
maybe they think it'll like connect them with someone else that will get them that job.
Yeah.
Do you know
Good
what I
point.
mean?
Good
Yeah.
point.
I'm thinking
Well, anyway,
smart.
we hope this episode has provided you guys with tons of reassurance that whatever you're going through in your 20s right now, the highs, the lows, everyone else is going through these things too. And no one out there is living the absolute perfect life. No one's got it all figured out. And we are here to support you. We are here to hopefully stand up and advocate for young people in the UK. If you've really enjoyed this episode, please let us know. Comment down below if you're here on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube. And make sure you download our report. It's completely free to do so. And we've got tons more stats in there. And we're going to be back next week with another episode. We're going to be talking about relationships and what young people are thinking about relationships in the UK right now. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you for
and
listening.
We'll see you for another episode next week.
Bye.
Bye.